Well, guys, we've made it another week. We have survived this long. Welcome to the Fuck My Life podcast, number 28. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It is episode 28 of Fuck My Life. After a weekend like this, it's hard to be like, I guess it could be a lot worse. There's a lot of other bad shit going on in the world right now compared to us who just kind of hate our lives. But yes, Fuck My Life podcast number 28. It was actually the most on brand, but also the most retarded thing we could do to do these on Mondays because Mondays are just such shit. Like
They
Mondays are so
really are.
shitty. And
Well, when
we
I had
decided
asked
to
you
do the
like
stream on
what
Monday.
days you had free, you were just like, Mondays? And I'm like, okay, sure.
I don't have a lot of days free.
Yeah, but it is very on brand, very on theme. Because, like, Fridays would have been too uplifting for a lot of people. But Mondays, it's like you just got done the best part of your week, generally for people, because they get to stay home and do random shit for 2 days. According to the game journos, they're jerking it to Leon Kennedy, imagining themselves being rammed by Leon Kennedy, and a lot of people melting down over the Warner Brothers sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Paramount thing, the Paramount Warner Brothers sale, it is what it is. I've always thought that Warner Brothers selling is going to be bad in general, but people are melting down as if Paramount's going to make a full like MAGA news network or something, which if you look at the shit that Paramount's been putting out, I don't know what would lead you to believe that necessarily. Other than, yeah, I guess they're not as consistently, putting out some stuff in virtue signaling like Netflix, but still, fuck, come on. Like we're sitting here, we're sitting through Star Trek, Starfleet Academy right now. Okay.
Yeah. I don't really think that you could sit here and say, oh, it's just going to turn into right-wing propaganda when you have shit like that airing. But, I mean, we are talking about mentally ill people, so, their delusions do not need any grounds for basis, like any facts that they're actually forming an opinion on. And even when there are facts, they just ignore them because that's how these people act. So it's not really that surprising in the grand scheme of things. Anytime anything changes at all, even if it is a way that would like benefit these people, generally they will still complain because that's all these people really know how to do. They'll always find something to complain about. It's never enough for them. That's why these companies shouldn't listen to them, because these people are fucking messed up.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the Scream box office, right? I think that's a very good example. Scream 7, Melissa Barrera gets fired, and for the record, I don't think anyone should be getting fired for their political views. Melissa Barrera was like on a constant barrage of stuff in the Middle East. I think it was anti-Israel, pro-Palestine. I forget exactly what it was. She ended up getting fired.
Right.
And like not returning or something. Whether she actually got fired or whether it's just like, she's not returning for the next Scream movie, I don't remember what it was. I don't think anyone should get fired for their political beliefs. But people made this into such a big deal. The woke Latin community, the Latin X community said, we're not going to show up for Scream 7 because you fired her. The pro-Palestine people said, we're not going to show up. We're going to boycott this movie. And Scream 7 had by far the biggest box office opening of any Scream movie we've ever seen. Now, I think if you adjust for inflation, Scream 2 may have been a touch bigger. But in terms of the recent ones, the last one we saw a few years ago, it dwarfed that. It wasn't even close. So it's like these people who can make a lot of noise on social media have no fucking impact sometimes on what's actually going on.
Yeah, and Spyglass Media Group did confirm that they fired her over quote unquote zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form. That was the only reason they gave. So they did confirm they fired her.
Yeah, and I don't remember. I remember she was posting a lot of shit. I think it was in the aftermath of the October 7th stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember. With that being said, I don't think anyone should get fired for their political views. Otherwise, fuck. I don't know how many people would be remaining employed anywhere. But
yeah, there's always
But when it comes to the grand scheme of things, Melissa Barrera is not important.
Yeah, no.
And I think a lot of people thought she was. These are the same people who are saying the reason Snow White failed was because of the pro-Palestine boycott. It's like I just don't I don't
Oh
think.
no. Things like these live action adaptations that they do, and especially Snow White, it was a multitude of reasons. Even just putting aside someone like, I don't know, Rachel Zegler or Gal Gadot, even just looking at the content itself, there were so many people who were like, I wouldn't really care about showing up to monetarily support it if I thought that it looked like a good movie, but I didn't think that it looked like a good movie, so I decided not to support it. And that's really normal now in terms of entertainment, where it's just like, even the drama aside or politics aside, stuff that's coming out is trash, and so it makes it easy to ignore it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I just brought up Snow White. I think if Rachel Zegler had never said a damn thing and never opened her mouth,
It would have done better.
it would have done better. I still think it would have been a failure. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been a better movie. It still would have been
Right.
shit. The CGI dwarves, all this other shit. But because you had about 2 years of bad PR, and
Hmm.
I think that, yeah, people have strong opinions on stuff going on in the Middle East, understandably so. However, when you put all that aside, the idea of Rachel Zegler mocking old Snow White, her fucking statements in general, I think are much more unpopular in general than simply somebody being from another country, right?
Right. And then you
And
also
as a
have
result,
people
I think
like
that have
Peter
much bigger
Dinklage
impact than
adding
all.
to that controversy as well. And like, who knows to what extent the movie was actually changed because of someone who wasn't ever involved in this project. And then that controversy added another layer. So we're talking about like 5 different layers of problems just with that movie. And yeah, even if Rachel Zegler was never part of the equation, it still would have had a lot of problems.
And then honestly, even that false report that came out, I think it was Daily Mail that first reported it about the seven dwarves being like the diverse group of
The
whatevers.
like the Portland fucking bandits. Yeah.
Right. And that wasn't true. I
Right.
think a day after that happened, I actually knew somebody that was in contact with one of the people who was working as a bandit in the movie, who texted me like, "Hey, we're not the dwarves. Like, we're playing a different group of people. We're called the bandits, blah, blah, blah." But it didn't matter. Once that message got out, and even after the movie came out and you could see the bandits there, like you could see this different group of people still didn't believe. They're like, no, they made that. They did that. And Reese was like, you guys are fucking retarded. But it didn't matter. It was bad PR for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's just how social media goes sometimes. But it's like it's like with the Super Bowl Star Wars Grogu just absolutely questionable ad. If we were talking about Star Wars being in a better place and people having more like faith in Star Wars and in Disney, and there was that level of like fan company respect almost, then people would have viewed it differently. Like, oh, it's just like a small little ad. It's not that big of a deal. We'll see a larger one or a longer one in the next couple of days, but nobody has any faith in this company anymore. And so it's like you just believe that this is the best that they have to offer, even if you technically know that it's not.
I definitely think that they rushed that trailer out very quick after.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. But I
What
feel
is
like they still had it in some form or like those shots ready to be used, whether it's like promotional material as clips that they're posting to social media or something along those lines. But yeah, it did seem like a very rushed trailer.
yeah. It was bad. It was
It was,
it
it was so
it was
funny.
bad. Like, but I mean, I think there was a report that came out from Variety. It was a whole thing on Josh D'Amaro a week ago, I think, and it was basically just a puff piece about Josh D'Amaro is very competitive when he plays tennis with his peers and like all this stupid shit. But down the line, they got into some of the challenges he would face, including dealing with the parks, dealing with Star Wars and Marvel and the Avatar franchise and all these things. And in it, they said Disney executives are not like they think it's going to be a disaster. Like they think that there's no excitement for Mandalorian and Grogu, which, yeah, spoiler alert, there's not.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. What was your assumption of the budget? Like what was
I
your like best case scenario?
So I said that I thought it was going to be cheaper because I think that they
Yeah.
had probably been able to film it with the volume in some cases and things like that. Now I had said, look, if they did this thing for 120 or 130 million dollars, I think it's like around 165 to 170, which is pretty fucking cheap compared to the other Star Wars movies that have come out. Still expensive in the grand scheme of things, but when you're talking about blockbusters nowadays, 160, 170 million is relatively cheap comparatively. I think
Yeah.
that's what this is, which helps them out a little bit. You know, it's not like it's going to need to hit $600 million to be profitable, but
Right.
I still think that movie's going to end up somewhere in the 400 to 500 million. And if that's where it ends up, that's an embarrassment for it. Star Wars return to theaters.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Zion just said Mano and Grogu's going to flop harder than Solo. I think that that's
Maybe.
I think yeah, I think that it's tough because I do think that, you know, like recency bias definitely is a thing, and Mando and Grogu have had multiple seasons back to back of a show and marketing material over the past several years. Now, if it will flop harder, ultimately we'll find out soon, but I still don't think that yeah, it's going to make as much money as they probably hope for.
I mean, there is nobody that was predicting Solo to do $350 million
Yeah, no.
or whatever. That was such a shock to
Right.
most people. I look, I don't think it's crazy to be like, yeah, I think about the same number of people that go see Captain Black America Brave New World are going to go to see Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, I think that's fairly reasonable. That would be a
Yeah, yeah.
failure. That would be an embarrassment. So we'll see, though.
That's true. Quantum, thank you for the 10. Vera, do you ever play any turn-based grand strategy style games or Forex style games like the Civ series? I play them off stream. I generally don't stream them though. I do like Civ builders for sure. Also, fuck my life. I
She
know.
she actually was telling me in DMs earlier. Her favorite new hero or her favorite new leader in Civilization is Harriet Tubman.
Oh,
So,
yes, for sure. I'm very glad that we get her. She's finally getting representation in Minecraft, Civ. Can't wait to see what else she's gonna be in. Great character. Love it. Love it to death. But thank you for the 10. David Smart Jr., thank you for the 3 months. Hail the panel. Vera, congrats on being on the open bar. You're awesome and fire. Ryan, I'm blown away with those celebrities going off on the Tourette's guy.
yeah, I mean the blacks had a little hero party for themselves about how strong and brave and stunning they are, by having to be in the same room as someone with Tourette's at the NAACP Image Awards over the weekend. So
Yeah, that's it's been a pretty wild week for that story because these people just keep bitching and playing the victim, which I think is funny, but also it's just a shit situation all around. But glad you enjoyed Open Bar. It was fun.
oh, were
Flag
you on
Ninja.
Open Bar this week?
Yeah, I
There you
was.
go. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to make that connection. I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes, I was.
Unlike you guys, I don't stalk Vera's every stream appearance on the internet.
Well, that's debatable.
No,
Uh
it's not. I don't even know when you're going to be on shows that I'm on.
I literally tell you.
I have never been. You have never been the person to tell me that you're going to be on FNT. It's never happened.
What do you mean? I literally have told you 2 out of the 3 times.
I think you might have that reversed. You may have told me once, but definitely.
No, it was the first time I didn't, and then you were like, "Oh, nice to find out you were gonna be." So I've told you
Right?
the other times.
No, no, no. This last one I didn't know.
This last one I told you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, motherfucker. That is not how it
Yes.
happened.
Yes,
Because
I
we fucking
did.
thought about it on stream two
No,
weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure I told you.
Chat
Fucking
knows.
dramatic, bro. Chill out.
Chat
Man,
knows I'm.
holy fuck.
Chat knows I'm right.
Well, we're on my channel this week, so
I
it's
think I
gonna be
could
a
still.
close call.
I think I
But
could still win him over.
Flag Ninja, thank you for the 5. Vera's right. I keep watching Starfleet Academy because I hate myself. Fuck my life. It's bad. And everybody affiliated with it should fucking feel bad. But they don't because It's what they want media to be. They want it to be trash because they don't care about it.
I mean, they want it to be gay like them.
Yep.
Which means trash.
Yep. It's true. Daytona Prototypes. Thank you for the 2. Mando Grogu movie is about 6 years too late. Yeah, I don't know, because I get their mentality of like trying to establish the show and get people interested in these characters and the storyline before like risking it going to the box office, but
I genuinely think that if it had come out right after season 2,
I would have done better than now after season 3.
Well, the thing is, they were separated at the end of season 2,
Right.
so I guess I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
But just in general, the hype surrounding it after season 2, there was a lot of talk and excitement. Now, I think a lot of it was bullshit, and I think a lot of it came from fucking retards, quite frankly. I thought season 2 of Mandalorian was garbage. I thought it was trash. I told everybody right in the aftermath, I think we're going to go back and look at this 5 years later, and it's going to feel like Force Awakens, where there was a bunch of hype for really no reason other than just nostalgia and jangling keys. And people are going to go back and look at it and realize, wow, this is a shallow, hollow piece of shit. And I think if you go back and watch Mandalorian season 2 right now, if you haven't before, if you go back and rewatch it and you liked it before, I think you'll feel the same way. I think I'll change your mind.
Stunning and brave, Ryan. Justin, thank you for the 10. Next week's Fuck My Life couples therapy.
That will be the last Fuck My Life.
Yeah, we're not going to make it to that episode of Fuck My Life. You know what, Ryan? I will concede. I will admit defeat if you will play Reloaded.
I'm going to play it. I made the promise.
When? It's almost a month old.
So I wanted to get out of Black History Month, right? Because I didn't want to be that disrespectful as I played it. So my plan is to play it before DEI Game Manager comes out, because I'm going to cleanse my
What about
palette.
1348X Voto? You need to play that shit too.
I'm going to cleanse my palette with DEI Game Manager Simulator.
Exactly. That's it. All right. Really quickly, since we were just talking about it, how many people do you think are in Reloaded right now? Just for the fucks of it.
13. 5.
5. Well, you're so shocked by it. It only had 57 max.
Well, I mean, I said 13. You know, I thought that was
5
a fair
stunning
guess.
and brave modern audience members. You know what? I don't want to have to call them modern audience members anymore, because that means that I'm part of this fucking modern audience. I'm the retard who has to play all these games. I don't want to be classified as that. But I already beat it, so I'm better than all these people. But yeah, there's 5 right now. I know, shocking.
Yeah, it's less than Marathon, but not by much.
That is true, man. Only a couple more days. Are you gonna play Marathon? Do you actually have any interest in it? I'm figuring not. Yeah.
I have zero interest in Marathon.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna be the only fucking idiot here playing it. Snake! Thank you for the 20. Varen Ryan, do you think a season of Dunk and Egg having adventures in Dorne fighting pirates would be worth risking going off books before the show burns through all the canon/published stories? I think that it would not be smart for them to move away from the source material until, of course, there is no more source material heading into season 4. Like, I don't think, even with the description that apparently the start of season 2 is going to have like a Dornish episode, is a little bit worrying. I guess we'll see how that's going to work.
I'm totally cool with them having some Dorne flashbacks. Like,
yeah, as flashbacks, but like an entire episode. I don't know
if you need a whole episode. I would like some
flashback or two. Yeah, that's fine.
Certainly, I would like an inclusion at some point of, you know, them swinging by Old Town and Master Aemon measuring Dunk 1 inch short of 7 feet tall and stuff like that, because throughout Sworn Sword, Dunk is referring back to things that happen in Dorne quite frequently, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they should. I think it would be right to do some flashbacks in Dorne.
Yeah, but as long as it's not like I don't know, a whole episode or 2 whole episodes or something like that, then yeah, I'd be fine with it because it is important. Like, it is important context to start off season 2 so everybody kind of understands what has been happening in Westeros over the past X amount of time. I don't think that they ever specified how much time it was. It's not like it's that much time,
It's like
but
a year.
yeah, it's got to be like a year.
I think it's basically around a year between between the events of the tourney at Ashford and the events of Sworn Sword, somewhere around there.
Yeah. But thank you.
Enough time for
Tommy.
COVID to come to Westeros.
That is true. And I think it's so fucking cringe though how people on social media are making all these jokes about like wear a mask X character who clearly fucking dies. I hate that shit. It's like,
Why?
really? That's the best joke you could fucking make? You're so stupid.
It is. I think it is funny to be like, oh yeah, well this character actually dies of COVID before next season starts. So
It's a little funny, but when people are repeating the same joke 800 times, it kind of loses its charm, in my opinion. But
that's my brand.
fair enough.
Mhm.
But since you had brought up a strong, independent woman, let's start off with this topic. Ryan, I know you love Minecraft, including amazing characters like Gandhi, amazing characters like Rosa Parks. I know you are a supporter of civil rights. Well, you're going to absolutely love Microsoft, of course, virtue signaling yet again, because Microsoft is posting this image again, which, by the way, every year, it's just the same images and the same skins. They're so fucking lazy. Same Black History Month skins now, same Women's History Month skins, and of course, they are promptly turning off the comments. So, for anybody who has not seen this, for anybody who does not know the shit that they pull every year, the official Halo account, which, by the way, has almost 2 million followers, 1.8 million, has 2,000 likes on this post. Very stunning and brave of them. A lot of people running to their defense. They posted this Women's History Month. Join us in celebrating the women who shape Halo in our universe, our studio, and our community. Wow. So fucking stunning. So brave.
The bravest part was them leaving the comments section open, I thought. Oh, wait, they locked their replies. Oh, shit.
Yeah, they did.
That's the funny,
I was like, what do you mean? What's brave?
Like that's the funniest part of the story to me is that you post something and clearly know that people are not going to like this. Like, think about that. Before any backlash can occur, you have locked the comments, which means when you posted this, you know it's going to be unpopular, and you justify it by saying, well, there's so many toxic people out there, we have to protect ourselves from this. But you can't admit that this is unpopular.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and obviously Microsoft has done virtue signaling like this before. Bungie does virtue signaling like this before. You have fucking Sony who does this, Nintendo who does this. All these companies and all these different studios do tend to either make posts that are very blatant like this, or sometimes they'll just sort of post strategic images like their development teams, and then they'll make like one little comment with it. Those generally go even worse than images like this. But who absolutely would ever want to use a skin like this in a fucking game? These look like trash. We went from good looking Halo skins that actually looked like battle armor to this rinky dink ass dog shit feminist cosplay.
You don't like. I'm just saying, Vera, you're not inspired by this.
Are you?
Don't you appreciate that they're thinking about you?
No. Stop
Rosie
fucking thinking about
Riveter.
me, you creeps.
It's Women's History Month.
So, who gives a fuck? We can't have a month for every person who wants a month of their own.
Well, we can as long as it's not white people. But yeah, like, or sorry, white
I'm even
men, I
surprised
should
they're
say.
making posts about Women's History Month, given they can't even fucking describe what a woman actually is.
That's true. Isn't the transgender community going to be upset about this, that they're not represented enough?
Like,
You know, back in my
yeah,
day, Vera, I know I'm a little older than you.
back in my day. Okay,
Back in my day, we
Gramps.
didn't have a Women's History Month. Now, we did have Black History Month when I was in school, but I don't remember Women's History Month. I do think there was International Women's Day, which I think it's fair. Give women a day. Give women a
Right.
day so they can feel special. That's fine. A whole month and a 31-day month at that. How do we feel, Black people, about women immediately after you guys getting 31 days of celebration when the Blacks only got 28? Didn't even have a leap
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Well, it's like, I mean, I know obviously Women's History Month was established in like 1978, but I think that it became popularized. We were talking about this in the pre-stream, like in 2015-ish is when it really started ramping up and all these like massive corporations would virtue signal about it. That was really around the time where they started pushing it very heavily, at least in my opinion, that I remember at least.
Maybe. I mean, you would have been in school when they started virtue signaling this shit, probably. So maybe that's true. Like the 2010s, that Obama era, we started getting a lot of this shit pushed out there. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's when it happened.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, but I think that's so funny. You're like the bravest thing they did was leave the comment section open.
Yeah.
And it wasn't left open. But
Well,
every year they make
I
this.
knew that. I knew something about this story, okay? I knew about
Right, right, exactly. I'm actually surprised that they didn't leave it up or open for a little bit because generally that's what happens is every year they sort of test the waters, they gauge what the reaction is sort of going to be. They either will hide a lot of posts or they will like make it so only specific accounts can respond and then they'll go through and moderate it. Maybe they just gave up early this year. I mean, again, it's been over a day and it's at 2.2k likes. That's fucking nothing. That is
how
that
many
is
quote
not
tweets are there?
um
You have to click on that little thing on the side right
this,
there,
right?
that thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe up go up top, go up
It
top.
might be.
That thing.
Where
View
the
post
fuck is
activity.
this?
View
Oh, here
post
it is.
activity.
There
I'll
it is.
teach you
Yeah.
how to use
There it is.
technology, young
I mean,
whippersnapper.
listen, I appreciate it. I mean, the first fucking one is 11k likes from Endymion.
What's the proposed community note for Endymion?
Skin is based off Rosie. The Riveter is a symbol of women's vital contributions to the home front. Halo's a military game is celebrating their wrong there, you fuck contributions to the war efforts of their past and future. So that's what it says. Yeah. Regular replies slash comments belong in the reply slash comment section. So nothing too spicy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a dumb note. Like
Yeah.
that is not a note that's needed. So I'm
Well,
glad
it's like the
not on there.
problem with so many community notes is because if your post gets successfully community noted, you don't get monetization on it anymore. And so it's a war behind the scenes on all these different posts. Every single post is a note after a note after a note after a note.
Yeah, it is a war. But and some people are saying, why did it get noted? It didn't. So Barrera has special access.
I do. I'm part of the community note program.
She can submit community notes and she can downvote or whatever community notes. So she is just seeing that somebody did a proposed community note, but it didn't actually get community noted. That's why
X
you guys
has allowed me to become a fact checker in real time. And
yeah, it's right. They just hand those out to anybody, clearly, even people that don't know how to see quote tweets. So
yeah, well, at least I know which fucking there to use, other than this retard. I should be able to report him and be like, he doesn't know basic English. He should not be allowed to have this feature.
Clearly an Indian spammer. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Microsoft, I think this image is so fucking funny. So So stupid.
I mean,
Remember
that
when
got more likes.
it did? Well, all of these are. That's what's so
That's
pathetic
why I
is
wanted to go to the quote
yeah, the
tweets.
Halo account has 2 million followers almost, and the best they can muster is 2.2K likes.
It's just so silly because how many Rosie the Riveter skins are they going to like? How many of those are people going to use?
Right. Like nobody's going to use them. I, as a woman, would feel offended if somebody wanted me to use that skin. Never mind having, I don't know, half a brain cell and being like, I'm actually going to download this and I'm
They
actually
become a
going to put this
target,
in
you
my
know,
inventory.
like
Oh
people
yeah,
who
absolutely.
like
Oh, I'm targeting you in the game for
like
sure.
people who are playing Ray in Fortnite.
Legitimate targeted harassment campaign.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um Dude, come on. Why does every single franchise have to be used to push some message? It's Halo because it's easy for these people. They've infected these companies, companies like Microsoft overhire activists. And then, of course, these people don't care about respecting the source material or actually respecting their community. And then we end up with shit like this. Who wants this? Nobody. I've never seen a single person ask for something like this. And if you even look at the people on X who go, you guys are just going to complain about everything. Those people don't play Halo. Those people don't buy Halo. Those people are not going to download something like this and put a skin like this in their inventory. They're just going to sit here and they're going to say companies should do shit like this, even though nobody fucking wants this. It's so cringe. At least make some good looking skin.
Yeah,
If you're
just make
if you're gonna virtue signal, at least make something that looks
what
half
would you make it?
fucking decent.
What
I
would you
don't
make it?
know. I don't know, something cooler than this shit.
Yeah, who cares about Rosie the River anymore? That shit's old news.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
hey,
aren't we all over World War II at this point? Like, haven't we moved on?
we're moving into World War III. I'm not worried about two anymore.
Exactly.
Shit.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
have bigger fish to fry, man.
That's what
Holy
I'm saying.
fuck. And the polka dots, I hate the polka dots. Also, on the actual visor, that really pisses me off. I don't know.
How many women do you think play Halo?
5.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them, so
Your voice
I
matters on this opinion.
hey, I'm the one who buys all these modern slop games anyway. I am the modern audience. I'm the biggest modern audience member supporting these piles of slop. These companies should be listening to me, catering to me.
You single-handedly have kept the Sweet Baby Ink people in business, like running around in different places, you know?
Well, I guess blame them for not making more money because these studios, they get so much money from Microsoft and their DEI program in order to finish development on their games. So that's the trade-off is, oh, we'll give you the money to finish your game. Here's the rest of your budget, but you have to put it on Game Pass. I just play all these games off Game Pass most of the time.
It's like that fucking immigrant shit that's coming out that Microsoft funded. You've got different European countries that often fund some of these bullshit games as well, whether it's French or was it Netherlands that were involved with some of them. So yeah, I mean that's the only reason these games are able to be made. And then they don't sell anything, they lose money, but effectively they got funding from government sources to do it.
Yeah, like Dustborn had gotten I think like yeah, Swedish money, and you have fucking
Is there reports about potential French money involved in Reloaded?
there is,
I don't know if it's
but
confirmed. I think I just saw it floating around, but
it was speculated. But the problem with that is that we know for Reloaded they got money from Microsoft. So with that, like that's already been confirmed.
yeah.
So if they received additional funding from other organizations, governments, companies, whoever, I suppose we'll never know because it's not like
That's
they're gonna
their
fucking
money. They're
disclose
just
that.
relooting it from the governments that oppress them, okay?
They are, yep. It's like how in Reloaded, ooh, spoiler alert, because you're totally gonna play it one day. There's like an auction that happens, and the main character Or maybe it's the grandma. I don't fucking remember. I played this shit 2 weeks ago. I never want to think about it again. She's like, "Oh, one of our artifacts went up for auction. We thought the white men would do the right thing and just give it back to us. You're so fucking stupid. You know what? You deserve to have your artifacts stolen, you idiot. Holy shit." But I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. So yeah, Ryan, I know you love skins like this. You're gonna be
That's gonna
playing
get me right
Halo
back in
Infinite.
Halo.
Yeah, you're gonna be playing Halo Infinite right after this stream is over. You can't wait to get your rosy skin, your nice rosy cosmetic. I know you love it so much. You're a big, big fan.
I played Halo Infinite for all of about 6 hours when it came out. That's the last time I played Halo, I think.
I liked Halo Infinite. I played quite a bit of it. I could probably check my Steam because I think I played it off Steam, right? I might have played it off Game Pass too. It was
fine.
It was interesting. I have 78 hours in Halo Infinite.
I think I might have played a couple multiplayer streams or whatever when we were doing it for Geeks and Gamers. I think we had more fun with the Master Chief Collection, honestly. But
well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about like a below mid game compared to like fucking godly content. Like there's no competition there.
Is there? So. It was like, but when you switched, different games,
we spent more time playing 10 out of 10 games than a steaming pile of fucking slop. Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, but I only played it on stream. You know what I mean? It's not like I was sitting there replaying through all the Halos.
Right. Fair enough. Robert, thank you for the $9.99. Arg, Greenies Torched and Apiary? Is that how you say it? I don't even know. And
Apiary.
Oh, Apiary.
You fucking heathen.
And murdered 50. Whoa! Don't start fucking insulting me, 8-head. Holy shit, chill out.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that. You can actually know words. You can have a vocabulary that exists beyond just Gen Z brain rot. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, at least I don't 6-7 all the time, so.
Beekeepers, like the official word for like bee experts or whatever.
Yeah.
A purist.
And murdered 50,000 honeybees. Bees are pretty fucking important. This is why I've hated environmentalists since 1990 fucking 2. I wasn't even alive yet. Wasn't even swimming.
I mean, not a big fan of bees, but
bees are important as hell though.
I guess so, like, make more.
I like bees just because we need them.
Wait, you go around and smell the flowers and you thank the bees for it? Like, who fucking cares?
Go outside? I don't. No, I see flowers on a screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Bees can fuck off. I don't need bees.
Well, I mean, we kind of do, but I get it. This is fuck my life, not I love my life. So
yeah, I don't care about no bees, man.
Yeah. Wicked Virtue, thank you for the 149. Much appreciated.
Wicked Virtue, I heard that Vera had to explain how gay sex works to you.
What do you mean I had to explain to you what fucking prep was as well?
Right, so talk about this to the audience, Vera.
True. Great segue. So
that's right.
We all know that gay journalists are gay as fuck. We know that they are hypocrites and they're losers. And, well, they are, of course, always looking to write articles that are going to get the most amount of clicks as quickly as possible. They don't care if they're hate clicks or not. And this article, so I have 2 articles actually, because I saw another one a little while ago and I wasn't sure if you'd seen this and you said you didn't. Kotaku a couple of days ago wrote, Leon Scott Kennedy, I'm on prep. And for those who do not know what prep is, because apparently I'm the only motherfucker who does, because I read so many books about these absolute fucking retarded leftists. PrEP is an HIV preventative medication. So basically it's Kenneth Scott, a gay man, writing about how he wants Leon to bend him over and fuck him in the ass. But it's okay because he's on PrEP.
So does that mean, so I don't think most of us in the audience have ever had sexual relations with anyone that has AIDS or HIV, Vera. So
I'd hope
can
not.
you
If
please
you know what,
explain, since you're an expert on this, can you please explain, does that mean that the gay man has HIV and it needs to be on PrEP so he doesn't infect others? Or does that
no,
mean he's implying Leon Kennedy has AIDS?
preventative means no one has AIDS, but nobody wants to get AIDS. And so they take medication so they could potentially fuck men with AIDS and not get AIDS.
Okay.
Yes, that is the extent of my knowledge.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to have to go and ask Grok for more info. So
Yeah.
that's about where my expertise wears off.
Ask Grok about gay AIDS sex.
Yeah, well, then
Those are the types of
we'll
things
make
that
it
AI
easy
are
because we'll be able to
invented for.
publicly shame people for it. So, like, that's good, right? I like to publicly shame people that are fucking stupid.
But yeah, like I guess the I'm on PrEP edition. I guess the reason I had to ask that question is because is he implying that he thinks that Leon Kennedy looks like he might have AIDS? Or is he saying that
no.
he has it and PrEP helps prevent the spread of it when Leon Kennedy shoves his fucking dick into this dude's asshole?
No, this is like, you know what? You're asking too many fucking questions here. All right. You are asking far too many questions that I
Donald
can't
Trump is on
answer.
PrEP. Look at that rash he's got.
Oh, yeah. Why? It looks like it needs a green herb. Why the fuck are these people cannot lose their fucking jobs fast enough. I always say it. Hey, human beings actually having jobs. You know, I get it, right? Generally, I'm gonna lean towards, oh, like real human beings should be able to like keep their jobs and shit. I don't give a fuck when it comes to the localizers, and I don't give a fuck when it comes to people like this. This is really the best you can do. This is this is what you think people want to read about when they're going to a website that talks about reviews, entertainment, games, and news. These people are so fucking stupid. I can't stand
When it's
it.
funny you're like complaining about that when we're reading an article about a man who's asking to get bent over by a video game character.
Yeah. Oh, this part you're gonna love this part. I've played through Resident Evil Requiem twice now, and when you're playing through a game a second time with between both playthroughs, you gotta take in the little moments to keep yourself from getting bored by something you just saw. For me, this meant having Leon Kennedy on low health so I could hear all the pained grunting sounds he makes as he struggles to make his way through the environment for reasons. Ryan, how do you feel about reading that article and that line from a gay man?
I suppose this is the Kotaku target audience. It's just gonna be probably
all fucking three of them. Yeah, I
it's
guess.
gonna be gay dudes and fat, ugly, possibly lesbian women or trans people. So I suppose it makes sense to go after your target demographic when you're talking about like him intentionally getting Leon Kennedy shot so he can hear him grunting so he can fucking jerk off in his living room. You know what I mean?
It
That's what I
really,
imagine.
it really shows how close this guy is to giving himself the good old jumping off the chair special, I think, because this is what you're doing with your time. Like, this is what you feel is fulfilling in your life to write about. That's pretty bad. But, I mean, obviously, we know these people are fucking hypocrites. Imagine if somebody wrote an article that was about Ada Wong or about Claire or about Jill. And they were talking about how, oh, I let Ada get down to cautious level health so that I could hear her pained moans and squeaks. Like, these people would be melting fucking
These
down.
people have a problem with jiggle physics or attractive
Right.
women in video games and all
Oh,
these things.
Eve, that's sexist. You can't objectify her. Oh my God, Gooner mods. That's disgusting.
Right. But then even like, and they would criticize the company, they criticize the audience. But then even in the next paragraph, Capcom says it was the mission of the women at the company to make sure that Leon in his 50s became everyone's hot uncle. And that meant consulting with design team on details as small as the wrinkles on his neck. So it's like, so you have women who are trying to create this fantasy and whatever, right? But if it was the other way around, they would be having a fucking meltdown.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, if we heard any company say they made it their mission to like hire men or get their male employees feedback on like the way that a woman looked so she could be the hot MILF or whatever descriptor you want to give, they would be freaking out and literally rioting within these companies. They would be demanding change. They would call these companies sexists, and anybody who supported a move like this sexist. And unfortunately, that's just how this industry is now. But to add to this, there's another new article talking about how Resident Evil Requiem seemingly confirms Leon Kennedy is married because he has a ring on his finger. And now they're saying, and everyone wants to know who's the lucky gal or guy. We all know it's Chris. These people are so annoying, you stupid motherfuckers. And they're 100% serious, too. That's like the worst part, is these people take themselves seriously constantly.
So they really want to be Chris Redfield?
They do, yes. They think that it would be stunning and brave to basically pair Leon with the less obvious choice. Because I think people would agree the most obvious choice is Ada. She's shown up in almost every game that Leon is in. And Claire would have also have been a fine choice. It could have been someone else, maybe Ashley. I don't know. She was kind of
a lot of
annoying,
people are saying this. A lot of people on fucking Reddit.
One Redditor.
And like
one, really?
And it's just like on Reddit. Yeah, I'm not surprised that on Reddit.
That's the entirety of their article, though, is referencing.
Can you vote? Oh, that's the, never mind. I thought you were voting for who he's fucking. Sorry.
This is, favorite Resident Evil protagonist.
I thought they were doing a poll like, who do you think he's married to?
I don't have some fucking Games Radar account. I wouldn't vote in the poll anyway. But yeah, they decided to write an entire article on who is Leon.
I would want you to vote just so you could. So sometimes if you vote, you can see the results.
We would fucking sway the poll because there's only 10 people that voted in it, probably.
There's no comments on the article, so.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. 5 hours, no comments.
You know what really fucking annoys me about this? Go back up.
What?
The person who wrote it, Jordan Gerblick. Can we click on? I want to see who Jordan is.
Staff writer.
Of course. He's got a profile picture smiling like Scott Mendelson, who's just been told he has to stay fucking 200 yards away from the playground.
You are not wrong at all. That's the worst fucking part. But, yeah. Oh, even Nintendo's thirst posting about Resident Evil's Leon. I think we found the second gay that works at these fucking outlets, because
you know what the funniest part about
the
this
same
is?
Day. What?
When you were looking at the original article, I was gonna shit all over it because I thought that the J in Jordan was not capitalized. I thought it was lowercase J and his last name was capitalized. And I just say that's fucking gay. But then once you rolled it back up, my eyes are so bad I couldn't tell. So once you scrolled it back up, I realized, oh fuck, it's a capital J. I can't make fun of that. So let's just hopefully click on his profile and I can make fun of him. And it gave me the perfect picture to do so with. So
well, I think that's
that worked
really
out well
anybody who works at these outlets. Like, they don't look like normal human beings. They look like they've either been to jail or they're headed to jail. So it's just it's kind of free money at that point to make fun of them. But yeah, apparently the journos are doing what journos do best, and that is getting absolutely fucking annihilated for their gay takes. Reading that gave me AIDS. But sexualizing video game characters is bad. That's fitting as how your entire company is full-blown AIDS. I can't say I'm surprised that well, one time when it's Eve or a Lara or any mildly attractive female in a game, at the very least, is in an experience, they bitch and moan and groan and complain about how it's disgusting that people are objectifying the female character, but it's perfectly fine when they do. It's perfectly fine when they objectify a character.
Has anyone looked up like any of those writers past shit like on Stellar Blade or whatever? Because that would be interesting.
I haven't got any examples off the top of my head about them, but someone like Kenneth Shepard, he is constantly like Paul Tassi, Jason Schreier level writer who will complain about objectification. So it wouldn't shock me that he's got like a laundry list of things. The other guy, I don't think I've heard anything about Jordan. I'm happy about that.
Maybe we're mispronouncing it. Jordan.
Maybe. But, well, yeah. I guess it is what it is. Not like I give a fuck. Their takes are bad anyway, so it's fine with me.
Yeah, because like we always do this stuff when it's like, oh, IGN gave this a this, but they gave this a this, and we like point out how bullshit. I like to actually compare like reviewers, right? Because IGN can have completely different people reviewing one game to another. Where it's like, okay, I mean, there's things that come out on the Geeks and Gamers website that I think are like stupid as fuck. I'm like, who wrote that article? Fuck you, you dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, but it's different people providing their different opinions.
But also when there's only 3 people that work at Kotaku now and one of them's on the way out, you know, like generally they're going to be in agreement over topics, so. Yeah, for sure. It's the way it goes. SCDB, thank you for the 5. Halo 3 Hayabusa armor is rolling in its grave. We used to have proper skins in proper Halo games. It's so sad that basically every series now is just completely and utterly destroyed. I also used to love Halo. In my opinion, Halo 2 is the best, but that's okay. I think the first 3 are absolutely fantastic and phenomenal games. I like most of them to a certain extent. Halo 5, obviously not so much. But yeah, I mean, it is a depressing time that we live in.
I don't know. I feel like Halo started getting destroyed not because of like the era of woke necessarily, but just because like the decisions they made in 4 and 5 just like really rubbed fans the wrong way and disappointed people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just the general level of quality and storytelling had already gone down, and so by the time like the woke nuke hit, it was already on a decline, and so it makes it seem like sort of woke killed it so fast, but it was already declining before then.
You didn't play with any of those African tribal skins they have or anything for Black History Month? Like the Wakanda skins and stuff they had?
Did you?
No. I'm not a gamer, though.
That's true. We know. We have been doing this show how many weeks now, Ryan? 28?
This is the 28th week, yes.
We are not even close to getting a dual game stream.
That's your fault.
My fault, motherfucker. I'm here literally every day. What do you mean?
Well, because you did get me to agree to one, and it was the one game that's not co-op.
That's true. Okay, so pick another game.
You didn't do your research.
Pick another game. I buy like fucking all of them.
It would be better for me to pick it because obviously,
well, yeah. If I say
if
I pick a game, we're ending the talk in 5 minutes, and that you're downloading a game and we're playing a game for the other hour. You know, this is the problem. So, like, I'm giving you a little bit of room for procrastination.
What did I say? I think I said maybe Arc Raiders or something. Did anyone play that game anymore?
Arc Raiders it's good. It's just that they haven't really done anything with it. Like
we could play Overwatch.
Why would you want to play Overwatch?
I mean, if I'm gonna have to do something that I'm being forced into, then at least you could be also miserable.
I mean, I don't even think it's like funny meme worthy, you know? If we're going to play something because
Like
it's
Reloaded.
bad, we need to play something that actually makes us want to jump off of a cliff by just thinking about having to do the stream. Never mind actually by the end of the stream.
I told you Minecraft. And you didn't want to play Minecraft.
What do you mean you told me Minecraft? You said you were going to play Minecraft so you could sit in the back of the fucking bus.
Well, yeah. But I suggested that as a co-op game.
Yeah,
It
but
would
like
be really boring though,
Mine-
because like I would just
all
be
right.
collecting
If anybody
resources.
knows of any Minecraft mod that turns all of the zombies into people of color, different ethnicities and stuff, then Ryan will be willing to actually show up to play a fucking game. Otherwise, this ain't gonna happen, you know? Otherwise, he's just like, I'm not much of a gamer.
I'm gonna play Reloaded probably at some point this week.
Probably at some point this week.
Probably.
Probably.
Again, I will play Reloaded before DEI Manager or DEI Game Manager Simulator comes out, because I have code for that game and I'm gonna play it.
It's true.
They reach
Stunning
out
and
to the
brave.
biggest gamer they know.
I know,
Yeah.
clearly. Happy 2026. Thank you for the $4.99 with the hearts and the smiles and the thumbs ups. Joey Tribbiani, thank you for the 5. I have no problem with Women's History Month. I love women. I love women so much. It usually ends up getting me in trouble. Anyway, hi, Vera. How you doing? I think women are great in moderation. So that's my take. And women in video games, only if they're wearing maximum 30% clothing. Otherwise, they're probably just going to be annoying feminists. So
Like
those are like my good descriptors.
women
Pass
are
it on.
just like men. There's good ones. There's fucking shitty ones. I think men and women are typically more geared and better at different things, which is good, right? Like men and women are supposed to be together. Men and women are supposed to attract each other, supposed to build lives together, all these things. It makes sense that they're better at different things. But yeah, there's a lot of retarded women out there. There's also a lot of retarded men. I don't feel the need to celebrate people just because they were born with a vagina instead of a dick. That's just me. But I love this account, Joey Tribbiani with Joey's headshots. That's fucking awesome.
I know, it's pretty fucking good. Tommy Campari, thank you for the $5. Ryan, your World War II comments offended me. I have a World War II veteran family in Argentina.
Is that one of those little towns that randomly speaks German?
I think so. It was like a couple of months ago. Maybe it was like 6 months ago now. There was a fucking painting in this person's living room. And it was a painting that had been missing since World War II, and it was in Argentina. People were fucking cracking up about it online. And then suddenly the listings for, like, I think it was a house that they were selling or something, vanished. Probably should have checked that before you posted it on the internet. And thank you for the second 5. Sexual attraction to video game characters, gross. So weird. What normal man would feel that way about, say, female Overwatch characters? Yeah. I feel like Overwatch still has to be the most, like, video game porno category. But I would assume, like, Lara Croft's up there. Final Fantasy, because there's so many women. I don't know. I don't think Overwatch is gonna be beaten anytime soon. I think it's definitely gonna stay up there on the rankings.
I don't get it, actually. Like, I don't understand the sexual obsession that people have with video game characters, with animated characters, even like the hyper realistic type of video game animations that we have nowadays. I don't understand it. They're not real people. I know there's a lot of you in chat who fucking jerk off to this shit. I'm sure there are a lot of you degenerates out there. I don't get it. doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. It's fantasy. It's just that simple. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, can't you fantasize about like a real person though?
I guess you could, but
Like, why am I
a real
like,
person isn't Lara Croft with fucking double D tits killing dinosaurs, you know?
how are you fantasizing about like pixels? Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. I know a lot of people. I just
Okay,
don't
but
understand.
yeah, but it's like
that.
now people have moved on to talking to fucking chat bots. So like
Yeah,
the fucking
that's
archive
fucking-
of their own.
That's
So
insane to me.
yeah.
People that have relationships with the like AI or Grok or fucking that's insane to me. I don't understand it. But to me, there's obviously there's like visual versus like just that. But to me, it's kind of the same thing. It's not real. It's computer generated. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get where you're also coming from now, because I mean, it isn't a real person, but at the same time, like I could fucking care less. If you want to jerk off to a fictional video game character, you go for it. Power to you. Just don't write a fucking article about it. All right. As
I'm
long
not
as
saying these
you
people need
keep
to be-
it private, it's fine with me. Do what you want.
I'm not saying these people need to be dragged in and get arrested or it needs to be outlawed or anything. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
think it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. Like that's not.
Well, now see the problem is now there's going to be people who every single time are going to try to explain it to you, and now there's going to be people who are going to try to be like, Ryan, last week you said this thing and I don't fucking agree with you.
It really upset me because I've been jerking off to Lara Croft since I was 12 years old, and that really offended me.
Ryan, I bet it fucking did.
Yeah, also I think that my web browser's frozen, so if my camera's frozen, well, fuck my life. Oh wait, I'm back. All right, cool. But yeah, I mean, hey, I said not every woman, well, no women are Lara Croft, even Sophie Turner isn't, so I get it. Doom Guy, thank you for the 2. Is VD going to bat for us? Or I mean them. In regards to what? I don't understand, because I'm defending jerking off to fictional characters.
Did that like just get sent in?
Yes,
maybe.
it did.
Probably.
So that's what I'd assume. We need a little more context, but also, hey, I mean, I've said it a million times on my channel, so that's my stance, and I'm gonna stick by it. Never mind, kidding. Okay. So Ryan, I know you've been talking about Warner Brothers a lot recently. We haven't been on a show. I know, shocking, right? Haven't been on a show since a couple of days ago when we got the information, or we've gotten more information about Paramount and the Warner Brothers deal. I think this came out today, or was this last night? Yeah, it was today.
Yeah,
this morning.
This came from a big investor
Yes.
thing that they had in the aftermath of winning the Warner Brothers bid from Netflix last week. So this is the first time Paramount actually like kind of addressed investors and gave their big picture thoughts on how this merger is going to work and some of the big questions that people have been asking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought we would kind of start here. I think everybody generally knows now the merger. We've gotten some of these new details, which some sound pretty fucking insane. So HBO Max and Paramount Plus will be combined into one service. I think that was always going to happen. I think that everyone sort of expected that. 15 films per studio with 45-day theatrical windows for each film.
That's a commitment to 30 films a year from this combined company. That's a lot.
That is a lot. I can't say I'm surprised. Like, they need to make as much money as they possibly can, because now the merged company will have approximately $79 billion in debt. Whew.
So that comes from Paramount was carrying approximately $14 billion in debt.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers was carrying around 35 billion. Now that was down from nearly 50 billion a couple years ago, by the way. But they were carrying about 35. And then of course they took on some debt to get the money that they needed to put this $111 billion package together to buy Warner Brothers. But yes, after spending $111 billion, they are now $80 billion in debt.
Yeah,
Which is a lot.
that is a pretty fucking penny. That's for sure.
Now, most of these companies carry billions of dollars in debt.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I mean,
Netflix carries around 10 billion,
Yeah,
Paramount carries around 14
almost
billion.
80 billion is a lot of debt to have at once, and that's the thing. It's like,
Correct.
sure, 10 billion, 15 billion, that really isn't shocking now, especially when there are some, movies or programs that do cost $500 million fucking dollars just for one. Never mind, changing the, but yeah, I mean, 80 is chunk of
80 is
change.
insane,
Yeah.
right? I think Disney has around 30 billion, somewhere around there. 80 is fucking
I can't
unheard of.
imagine that there's any other Hollywood companies that even come close to this.
Yeah.
So there's that. 6 billion in cost cutting, including consolidating on tech infrastructure, real estate, corporate overheads, and more. Basically, TLDR is everybody's gonna get laid the hell off.
They've been very cagey with that. I mean,
They
look,
have.
when two studios merge, there will be redundancies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, are we really going to need, say you guys have fucking 50 HR people and we have 50 HR people. Do we really need 100 HR people for this company? Probably not. There's probably some redundancies. There's probably things like that.
Right.
Hey, do we really need to have these two massive structures? Can we find a way to make this building work? Shit like that. 6 billion, that'll help them out if they can cut costs that way, but it's just a very small chink that they're taking out there.
Yeah, definitely. No plans to sell off / spin off any of their cable assets. Flexibility to put sports like UFC on any cable network. We'll continue to license movies and TV shows to other studios and platforms. And then I know there's been quite a lot of debate over this as well, because in the case of the layoffs, they don't really want to talk about it. In this case, they're giving what is the best answer, but a lot of people don't believe them, rightfully so. AI will be a tool for artists, but never a replacement for storytellers. I mean, hey, I don't trust any of these companies, and either way, this is the problem. Like we were talking about with the before, I really can't sit here and say that I'm going to shed a tear if a couple of these losers lose their jobs after so many pieces of bad content over the years. Yeah, there's inevitably going to be some good people that are going to lose their jobs. It's the unfortunate part of reality, but companies are always looking to spend the least amount of money possible, and AI usage is growing at such a rapid rate that I think it's illogical for them to sit here and say it's never going to be a replacement at all whatsoever, and people are stupid for believing that that's actually going to be the case.
Yeah, and like it's just like any significant advancement in technology, right? It does things to jobs, right? When, everybody used to listen to the radio and all this stuff, then TV came along, and then this came along, and then this came along, right? At one point in time, theater was like the biggest thing around. That was like the primary form of entertainment for people. Then things changed. At one point, we didn't have assembly lines, and cars were made different ways. Then the assembly line comes along. I was alive back then, Barry. You probably don't remember these things, right? But like you have a significant advancement in technology, and things change. And sometimes people that were professionals in that specific thing all of a sudden find themselves no longer being professional, like that no longer being in demand. And sometimes that just sucks, especially depending on how old you are, if you're close to retirement, all that shit. But it is just part of life.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of instability that is happening in a lot of different industries right now due to AI, but especially in the video game industry and Hollywood / entertainment, simply because it is easy to replace people. Why would we hire 50 writers and pay 50 writers when we can just have AI pump out a generic script and then have 20 writers polish it up and change it up? And well, given how little these people have sort of cared over the years about respecting source material or just not pushing their political agendas into content, it becomes very easy to say, well, sayonara. And I also know you've talked about this already, but what do you think is going to happen with James Gunn? Because there is so much speculation at this point about what his future with the DCU is going to be following the Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition, and sort of the differences between his plans and like the studio's plans. What are your thoughts? It's
I
tough,
think
right? Because it could go in a lot of different directions.
one of the more interesting things that's come out in the past 24 or 48 hours, you have a lot of people running with reports that they think that James Gunn is going to quit of his own accord, that he is going to leave Paramount because they're too friendly with Trump and stuff like that. James Gunn, he's going to quit the DC and take over Marvel.
Yeah.
John Campea has been very vocal with this over the past 2 or so days. Here's the truth. If Superman had actually been a success, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
Right, exactly.
Because Superman was a slightly disappointing movie at the box office that didn't make the money that people expected it to make. It's been gaslit by the media, gaslight by shill accounts, all these things that have happened. If it actually was this massive, mind-blowing success that they try to pretend it was, by the way, they were trying to pretend it was because they were trying to sell their company for as much money as they could. That's why they told you how fucking incredible it was. And it's a thing that any company would do. But
oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course, they're going to lie. Why the fuck would they tell you the truth? It's like everything that's going on with Ubisoft. Of course, they're going to say Assassin's Creed is doing great, so Tencent will give them more money.
Yeah, I genuinely think that Man of Tomorrow is going to be the do or die for James Gunn. I think 2027. Now, it's going to be interesting because I'm pretty sure his contract expires in 2027. So what's that going to look like if he is already filmed and shot and is in the process of editing a movie when that contract comes due? Because I don't think Supergirl is going to do anything.
Right.
I think Clayface has a chance to be actually really good, but I don't think it's going to do anything at the box office. But Man of Tomorrow in 2027, I think that is going to be the do or die. And if it delivers another similar underperformance, I think James Gunn's out, period. Regardless of who was running this company, Warner Brothers or Paramount. The other important thing to note is although this Paramount Warner Brothers deal is agreed upon, it's probably not going to be approved for another at least 6+ months because of all the hoops
it takes a lot of time, right?
Exactly. So Paramount's not going to have control
casually
for a while.
Happen. I mean, look at how long it took Microsoft to get Activision Blizzard. It took years and years because of the level of pushback. And so that could happen here. I mean, it might be a long time. It could be relatively quick. We obviously won't know for a while, but I do agree that if Superman had actually been as super as they wanted it to seem, the conversation would be different because you would have Superman having a very strong start of the DCU, and then they would have been able to get away with Supergirl maybe not doing as much as they would need it to, and it breaking even or doing a little bit better. But now, because Superman hasn't done amazing and Supergirl is probably going to be, I don't want to say a failure, but I just don't think that it's going to make that much money going into this next movie. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. I don't personally think that he would just up and leave, but also I'm not James Gunn and I would be happy with that. I don't like James Gunn very much. I do think that he has created some good movies before, but I don't understand, in my opinion, like why he was ever handed DC, because he's never been that talented, in my opinion. He's never shown that good of a level of like leadership or even understanding, because he's a one-trick pony.
Correct.
And now the DC is a one-trick pony, or the DCU's a one-trick pony.
I think James Gunn was the perfect guy to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
100%.
And there are specific instances where I couldn't imagine anybody making a better movie than James Gunn that has a certain tone and a certain atmosphere. But that is like one movie every like 10 years or one series, and not every movie feeling the same exact way.
Correct. I think he's the wrong guy to do Superman. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that Superman is like the least interesting person in the entire film.
Yeah.
And it feels like more focus and attention, and his favorite parts and favorite characters are these other side characters, whether it's whether it's Mr. Terrific, whether it's Guy Gardner. I just feel like that stands out in the movie, that those are the scenes he had the most fun with, because
Right.
that's what is up his alley. And I also think in some different universe, could James Gunn be the head of a studio? Maybe, but not if everything is about him. Like,
Right.
I think James Gunn has to have a better understanding that his taste is not necessarily everyone's taste. And so could he, in theory, if he just backed off and played, hey, I'm going to hire this guy to make this movie, this guy to make this movie, maybe that could work, but it's not working right now with the DC universe. They
Right.
can barely get anything made.
Right. And I actually had, I think I've said it multiple times, but I think that he could have actually made a half decent Supergirl movie if he made a Supergirl like Lollipop Chainsaw. I love Lollipop Chainsaw. James Gunn had co-wrote it back in 2012. It's campy, it's satirical, it's got a lot of very good humor, and I almost see that level in Supergirl, but I also think that the risk should in theory be lower for Supergirl, because they should understand their audience wasn't going to be massive, so they never should have put a significant amount of money into Supergirl, and they should have never made that like their big summer film. It's just a for the vibes James Gunn movie, and after how, I don't want to say bad Superman was. I didn't think Superman was terrible. I just also didn't love it. I just didn't think that it was a great Superman movie. It was a fine movie with some good parts. I do think a lot of the cast is actually pretty good. But
I think I give it like a 4.5. That's what it feels like to me.
yeah,
It is
I'd give it a
mid-movie.
5, but like
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it a 6 or a 7 or anything like that.
Unless you were
But
IGN.
he doesn't understand Superman. His tone shouldn't have been all over Superman, and he has a complete misunderstanding already for what people actually want.
Yeah, and the cope surrounding it has been really interesting to see, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think because there is such a divisive feeling sometimes around Zack Snyder's DC universe. So I feel like people that really, really hated that had to desperately show this is actually way better than that, and kind of
Right.
just got locked into their arguments. And
They just wanted to be the anti-Snyder bros, but the problem is they got
Yeah.
so annoying that they just became the new Snyder simps, basically. And I like a lot about the Snyderverse for sure, but I also think that there were a lot of hiccups and a lot of problems clearly that happened along the way. But these people are just as annoying as the like evil that they're trying to fight, which is hilarious.
yeah, and at the end of the day, you can make all the excuses in the world. You can say this, you can say that. At the end of the day, James Gunn's Superman made significantly less than Man of Steel, which released 12 years ago, when
Right.
ticket prices were an average of about $8 instead of an average of about $13.50. Millions and millions and millions and millions of fewer people decided to not go to this Superman movie by James Gunn than went to go to Man of Steel. So it's tough to sit there and try to make those arguments when these things are clear as day. And ultimately, like I said, I think that Man of Tomorrow is the determining factor for James Gunn, and we wouldn't be having any of these conversations if the movie was actually a success.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously 100% agree. I think that it's kind of a no-brainer. It's pretty simple to see that, hey, if a movie made $1 billion, right, the conversation around him being the leader here would be different. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty pathetic that Superman just was such a mid movie, and I obviously don't think Supergirl is going to be any better quality wise. Never mind at the box office, and I don't even think that's gonna do much. I do think that Millie Alcock is kind of a draw. I think Jason Momoa is kind of a draw. I do think it also is a summer movie, right? So there are a lot of people that are just looking for things to do, looking for things to watch, but Yeah.
I don't think Millie Alcock is that much of a draw. I mean, she was in like 3 episodes of House of the Dragon. And like, do you know what I mean?
True, but I do think that a lot of people praised her performance and thought that she did very good. I would also feel similar if like Dexter Soul Ansel was in a movie. Sure, he might not be like some insane draw, but the reception surrounding him, at least in the fandom, was extremely positive, and it will lead some more people to go and watch it.
Maybe. I think Jason Momoa as Lobo is a better draw for the movie.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
that's
crazy.
the
We're talking about
largest draw.
Lobo, about Jason Momoa's going from Aquaman to Lobo, and him being the biggest draw for the movie that he is reportedly not even in all that much.
Right. He was also a pretty big draw in Minecraft too. I mean, that was, you know, a series of powerhouses with people like Jack Black, people like Momoa, and just the Minecraft name in general. And God knows how much money they actually ended up spending on the marketing of that film. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens with James Gunn. What's this? Oh, these fucking meltdowns from these people. I forgot I brought these up. It's genuinely just completely over. The far right will own all the media space and use it explicitly for their propaganda for the next century. The Ellisons will now own basically all media. A ultra-Zionist, pro-IDF funding, MAGA pushing family are about to own everything from TikTok to CNN. We are fucked, man. Actually, like fuck your movies, man. It's more scary that Paramount wanted CNN and Discovery in the deal. Netflix didn't. It's very clear the far right wants to censor everything we consume and push their propaganda. This is awful. Oh yeah, but they have nothing to fucking say when that's what the left's been doing for a decade. They got no problem when they support it.
Yeah, and it's like let's kind of be real. The left has dominated all of these different industries for the most part for the past decade plus. So even if what you're saying is true, that Paramount's goal is to be some sort of uber right wing whatever, which I don't think that's true. I do think that Paramount is going to try to focus on making movies that maybe aren't just catering to the coasts of the country and are appealable to potentially everybody, middle America included. But even if their worst fears are correct about what Paramount wants to do, which I don't think there's any indication of that, especially when, look, they signed a massive deal with South Park. What's the first thing that happened? They spent the entire season shitting on Trump. We just saw them release Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Okay, let's not pretend that this is actually going to happen with Paramount. But even if it did, so what? 1 or 2 studios are like that, and maybe and a news organization is like that. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah, like it's not
it's just
like
fear mongering.
They
want everybody.
Like, holy fuck.
Right. They want everybody to be afraid. They want the normies to be afraid because they want the uninformed individuals on social media to just rally behind them because they, of course, want to make it seem like they can change the path forward, whatever fucking delusions that they have. But it just every time somebody like this makes a post like this, I think it's hilarious because it just goes to show how, number one, much they're lying, and how, number two, much that they do not understand what has been happening. Again, some of them do understand, and they're just being dishonest. Some of them don't understand. But yeah, they're sitting here saying, we're so completely fucked. When was the last time you went to a movie theater, man? When was the last time you turned on CNN? When was the last time you used TikTok, man? You're sitting here and bitching because you're not getting your way, and what you want to happen isn't happening right now.
Yeah.
But
it shows kind of just detachment from reality, and that's what these people are. They are detached from reality.
100%. But it's the way the cookie crumbles. Can't say I'm shocked. Again, like we were talking about before, they're celebrating Women's History Month. They don't even know what a fucking woman is. They can't even describe what a woman is. Never mind fucking celebrate women. Holy shit.
Yeah. can't define what a woman is, but let's celebrate their month. As long as you identify as one.
Yep.
Like you, Vera.
Yes, I am a body type B.
Yeah.
Drew, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. Much appreciated. Mergiotech, thank you for the 5. Shouldn't you advocate for them to get help instead of enabling them to JO to fake characters? I don't care what people do in their free time.
I don't know if it's directed at me or you.
I don't know. I mean, like for me, like if you want to do whatever you want to do in private, and ooh, you want to fap to Lara Croft, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is bad and you should feel bad. It's just, I don't get paid enough to do that, you know?
Well, look, I can make judgments about people and think that what they're doing is harmful and all that stuff and still be like, hey, that's kind of
right.
Whatever. That's your decision as an adult to do these things. I can think that OnlyFans is one of the most like horrific things that's ever been invented or pushed, both for the men involved and the women involved. I think it's fucking terrible. I think it's going to cause a lot of harm to people over time. I think it's pretty disgusting and despicable. At the same time, do I think we should outlaw it? I don't necessarily think that. I think that it is impossible. I think that is virtually impossible to like eradicate immoral things just through laws, especially because everyone's everyone's opinion on what is or is not immoral can be vastly different when it comes to things like this. Yeah, does everybody agree that murder's wrong? Yeah, we got pretty much a consensus there. But when it comes to a lot of these other questions about what just people's personal preferences are, I think it's a lot tougher to do so. So I can say I think that I think it's weird if people are fantasizing about video game characters, but you might think it's weird of like some of the shit that I find fine. But it doesn't mean like, to me, that's not like, hey, forcing or trying to make or trying to influence a child to cut off their dick and turn them into a trans woman when they're 12 years old. I think that is a much higher scale of morality in terms of 99% of people probably think that's wrong, and we should do something to outlaw that, as opposed to just my personal preference.
There's a difference between an adult looking at a picture of a fake character and then actual children being mutilated and being coerced into doing these terrible things. Like there's a very big difference there, but you know, I could care less. Generally speaking. Oh, yeah.
Just real quick, Colonel Radek says, since that is so unhealthy versus dating a modern woman who will literally destroy your life. It's sad that that's the state that some dudes are in, and you're probably just kind of memeing a little bit, or you'll say you're just memeing. But are there terrible women out there? Yeah, there are. Are there terrible men out there? Yeah, there fucking are. But if you have given up to the point where you would rather have a fantasy relationship with something that is not real, whether we're talking about video game characters, whether it is just a porn addiction, whether it is talking to ChatGPT or whatever, because you've given up on finding it because any possible woman out there is just going to ruin your life. That's sad and pathetic.
Yeah, I agree. But I grew up in the state that's motto is live free or die. And so I prioritize personal freedom. I just don't give a fuck what you do in your free time, brother. But yeah, there's a very big difference between children being mutilated and like looking at a character in a video game or talking to a chatbot. Again, it will most likely lead to very unhealthy consequences in society. But what am I supposed to do about that on the Fuck My Life stream, Like, you can't show up to this fucking stream if you've ever thought about Lara Croft's ass. That's clearly unrealistic, so.
Yeah, well, and somebody says, somebody also said, Insanity Pepper says, liking an attractive character is not having a relationship. I agree. That's not what I'm talking about. I do
Yeah.
think that they should make characters attractive. In this, like, there's a reason why most of the time you get down to your local news stations, you get some ugly fucks. Most of the time, people on news or people that appear on television are typically attractive because most people like looking at attractive people. I think there's a difference between, hey, I'd rather have attractive people in my video games and people who are obsessed and gooning over your favorite like character and actually jerking off to a video game character. I think there's a difference there.
Fair enough. Doom Guy, thank you for the 5. James Gunn, how do I make Superman the weakest shit ever? It's pretty sad. I do think that David is a good actor. I thought that he did a good enough job with the Superman script that he was given, but we talked about it with so many different things, especially most recently Tomb Raider. Sophie Turner might care about the source material. She might like Lara Croft. I of course have my doubts, and she wouldn't have been my first choice to play Lara Croft, but a good actor or a passionate actor can only do so much with a bad script. And so, sure, part of the blame is like on them if they do a bad job and like their acting skills are bad, but at the same time, like we can't put all the blame on him for the Superman that he played.
I think with the right look, people who don't like Zack Snyder's movies will still typically say that they think Henry Cavill could have been a great Superman if he had been in a different like situation. I think that of David Corn Sweat. I think he could have been a great Superman. But what he's given is not it.
Right, it's just not good enough. Da Beast, thank you for the 2. Uncle passed this morning. We were close. Fuck my life. Sorry to hear it.
I'm sorry about that, Da Beast. That sucks, man.
That does.
That sucks. Getting old sucks because then you get old and then everybody else around you gets old. Your parents get old. Your family gets old.
Life sucks and we all die, unfortunately. It sucks, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Giving my 2 credits. Thank you for the 5. Vera make Ryan watch Free Ren Beyond Journey's End for Women Month. Free Ren is awesome. I love Free Ren, but also Ryan would not like Free Ren.
I've heard about it, but I don't know anything about it. I am going to be
basically
watching
about an elf who, after like 80 years, the party that she went on a journey with, and they defeat the Demon King, she comes to terms with the fact that all of her party members died, and she was actually in love with one of them, and she's sad. And so it's depressing. And she's like coping with that fact.
Yeah, I don't know if that's for me. I'm
You
going to
find
be watching
out like all that in the first episode, by the way. So shut the fuck up to the one person chat that's going to go, you literally just gave spoilers. Shut up.
I'm watching Cowboy Bebop. That's I have to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is
Chat
so
decided Cowboy Bebop for me.
Good. I love Cowboy Bebop.
I'll let you know if I start fucking masturbating to whatever female character's in that. I'll let you guys know.
Fucking Faye. She is pretty. So
what's the character's name?
Faye Valentine.
Faye?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one. I remember the story when Netflix did the adaptation and they like the fucking woman that
Spike Spiegel. I hear that in my fucking nightmares. Bro.
I don't remember
Holy
that. I just remember when she was
it's like that last episode.
I didn't want to be in that revealing of an outfit or something. And then there's images
Danielle
of her
Pineda. She plays that character.
Images of her from like 2 years prior where she like was in her bra and panties or something.
Yeah. Juan Gal, thank you for the $50.01. James Gunn Superman can sit on a cactus, clench on it, and eat sticks. Never mind Supergirl. Though who knows? Trying to stay optimistic for 2026. Definitely not on brand for fuck my life. I guess I say I'm cautiously optimistic, but honestly, I just sort of expect everything to fail because most stuff does fail.
I mean, if you had high hopes for 2026, I pity you. I expected 2026 to be shitty, and I was not let down. We already have shit popping off. Bad things happening in 2026 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we are a quarter of the way through. So, like, shit has just been hitting the fan.
We're not a quarter yet.
Almost.
We just started the third month
It's
of the
close
year.
enough. All right.
We're 1/6 through.
It's close enough.
That doesn't 1/6 sound a lot less than 1/4 because it is.
That doesn't really matter. I mean, the time's gonna pass anyway. But thank
I could
you.
have said we're 2/12 of the way through.
Thank you for the 50.
Were you
Much
on when I
appreciated.
was bitching about that, or was that this week for Star Trek Starfleet Academy?
It was not the week I was on now.
So
It was this
the
week.
episode for Starfleet Academy this week, that stupid fat bitch who was teaching theater was like, 8 out of 10 cadets ask that question here, and only 2 out of 10 cadets make captain or something. And I was like triggered because I don't like. Why wouldn't you just say 4 out of 5? Why do you have to say 8 out of 10?
Because
Like-
it sounds better in her opinion.
I mean, like, what if I 80 out of 100 cadets ask that question?
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like they got a lot of cadets. So I don't know. Probably would have been better for marketing material for them for Starfleet Academy. Am I right?
40 out of 50 cadets ask that question. It's stupid.
Yeah, well, these people are fucking stupid, so I guess it is what it is. Mergio, thank you for the 10. At Vera, I guess they should all be like you and have that fuck my life attitude. Pathetic by definition, but I guess you think everybody needs something to gloat about. Self-harm is not freedom. No, it's not freedom, but also, like, again, I am not here to control what people do with their lives. So yeah, I didn't say self-harm was freedom though, so that's what it is. Ryan's smirking.
I just think it's funny. I think the conversation's funny.
It is a little bit, I
Yeah.
guess.
Look,
Everyone's
so-
gonna have their own fucking opinions, and that's just the
Look,
way that.
I think you're free to put your stuff out there. And if you see your friend doing something that is legal, but you think that they have a problem, for instance.
Yeah, there's a difference here between talking about legal and like illegal shit. I'm not saying, oh, you have the freedom to go and kill a bunch of people. Like, clearly that's not what we're talking about here.
For instance, like, gambling is legal. Gambling can also be very addictive and very harmful for some people. I think that the vast majority of people who gamble don't have that problem. They don't get over their heads. They don't get in massive debt. It's not an addiction or a compulsion or whatever. But there are some people who can't handle that. And so, like, if you see your friend doing that, yeah, it should be your responsibility to step in and say something. But at the same time, I don't think that means that we have to ban this or ban that. But everyone has their own different opinions about where those lines are and those things, which is why we've been having these conversations about which drugs should be legal, what this should be legal, what that should be legal since the beginning of fucking time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But thank you for the 10. Much appreciated. Mr. Rich, low pitch, thank you for the 2. Just got Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray. Can't wait. It's been a long time since I bought physical media for like movies, TV shows, anime. I did pre-order the Night of the Seven Kingdoms one because I really want to see like the blooper reels and like the extra content, like Egg going around narrating on set. I think that's going to be so fucking hilarious. So
Comes out in June, yeah?
yeah, June 9th, 16th or 19th or oh maybe, yeah. So I'm hyped for that. I can't wait. That's when I'll do my rewatch. I've rewatched like 2 of the episodes, but I'll wait to watch them all until then. And SCDB, thank you for the 5. Ryan, be patient with Cowboy Bebop. They get the gang together before the overarching story starts. Don't think too hard. Just get immersed in the world.
I'm definitely not going to think too hard about the cartoon. I'm going to try SCDB.
The cartoon.
Japanese cartoon. I'm going to try not to think too hard about it.
It is really good, though.
That's what people say. People have said I like it. In fact, Jesus, who's in the chat, I think it was Jesus who sent me Cowboy Bebop a while ago, and I never watched it until now, and so now I'm going to watch it.
You lazy fuck. But I'm glad you're watching.
Hold
now.
on. I don't know if lazy is the best word. Procrastinator. How about that?
Lazy.
Procrastinator.
But I barely know her. Thank you, Doom
LOL.
Guy, for the 5. The only good anime is Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll the movie. There, I said it. Come at me. I mean, there's like a million better anime, in my opinion. I'm not
I'm on
trying
Doom
to sit
Guy's
here.
side.
I'm not. Of course you fucking would be. Okay, what was the last anime you watched besides Cowboy Bebop? And how long ago was it?
Pokemon?
In fucking 2002?
Oh,
when?
no. Like 2 weeks ago.
Pokemon, that's the best you can come up with.
I watched Pokemon, yeah.
I watch anime. I watch Pokemon. Jesus
Does
Christ,
that not qualify?
I like Yu-Gi-Oh!
You didn't. I didn't come
It's
here.
good.
Stop.
It's good.
Stop.
But
I didn't come here professing
not.
to be an anime expert.
You're rewatching Pokemon for the 36th time, and you've never watched Cowboy Bebop.
What?
You're rewatching Pokemon for probably the 36th time.
No,
you've had to have seen Pokemon before.
No, I am watching the Pokemon series that came out in 2024. I forget the like subtitle of what it is, but I'd never watched that before, so that's what I'm watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Doom Guy, for the 5. I would not agree that the only good anime are Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll, but they are good, and I will give you that.
I'm on Doom Guy's side.
Stunning and brave of you. Thank you, Ryan, for that riveting feedback. Okay, now
Pokemon's older than you, by the way, bitch. Just so you know, Pokemon's been around before you were born, and it'll be around long after you're born. Okay, so don't shame the good name of Pokemon.
Are you excited for the new Pokemon games?
Not particularly.
Yeah.
Winds and Waves.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way.
Like
I'm excited for Pokopia that comes out in a couple days.
The trailer didn't do too much for me, you know, like didn't really show much.
Well, that's the problem with so many like announcement trailers for games is they don't really show a lot because they're just trying to like get you excited, but because the release date's so far away, they don't want to actually show you like gameplay or out in the open world because, well, their game probably runs like trash like every other modern Pokemon game. But I think the timing is really weird because why would they show Winds and Waves now when they just released the Fire Red and Leaf Green versions? Those have a lot of hype on social media. It's like, I guess maybe was it like Pokemon Day? Actually?
It was Pokemon Day. That's why.
Okay,
it was
so
the 30th
that's
anniversary.
Why. That's why, yeah.
That's why.
But like, you'd think that they'd space it out a little bit more, but I guess they
it's not like
they probably expected the Leaf Green and Fire Red to do good, but they've like been at the top of the sales charts for like 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now since they were announced.
I think they probably knew that it was going to be really big. But also at the same time, it would be a little different if they released Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green and then 3 weeks later dropped Winds and Waves. But that's not, it's just a fucking announcement trailer. You know what I mean? So I think it's fine. I am going to be in Japan for the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go.
Damn, you're going to do some weeb shit?
I'm just going to catch Pokemon on my phone.
See, now there's going to be plenty of Japanese people that think you're some shitty ass fucking tourist who only went specifically for that.
I am going to be a shitty ass tourist, but I won't happen to have only gone for that.
Well, right, but that's what they're going to think of you.
But I'm embracing their culture. Isn't that what they want?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. But, so they can get over it.
I think
or I'll drop another fucking nuke on them.
You know, I wouldn't threaten that right now with everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
With
I wonder what the couch
World War III. I don't think that this is the time, Ryan. You know, making the 9/11 jokes were funny, 28 weeks ago.
God.
Maybe not so much now.
Well, look,
We need a
Nuke in
little
Japan, that
cultural
was like,
sensitivity from you.
again, it's like I'm over World War II shit. I'm tired of hearing about World War II, okay? It's been like 70 years, Japan, almost 80 years. Y'all can get over it. It's all right.
Fair enough. But don't you love this nightmare fuel? Doesn't this just make you so excited for
Bella
Hollywood's
Ramsey and Pedro
future?
Pascal.
Yeah, God of War. Who doesn't love a little bit of good God of War? Well, you're not going to be
People-
getting much of it anymore.
People are reacting to the picture they put out as if this was the picture, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I agree. I just think that it looks like such a low effort shot. Like the pose isn't cool, the atmosphere isn't cool. It's just so questionable. And then the way that the lead actor acts, and he's like, don't believe everything you see on social media. Motherfucker, this was posted by the official account. What do you mean don't believe everything on the internet?
I don't know what that means. Like when I see that, I'm like, is he saying this is like AI generated or something? Like I don't, because it was posted by God of War. It is the header for the God of War account. I don't really understand that. Now look, I don't think this looks great or anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw this and I was like,
it looks like he's got a layer of baby powder over his paint job. You know, it just looks
Yeah.
so bad.
I scrolled by it and I saw it and I'm like, guess it looks fine or whatever. And I moved on. I'm not the biggest God of War person. I would be much more interested if they were making the Greek God of War games and adapting those.
Right.
Not that I don't think the first one isn't good. It is good. But I have a lot more nostalgia for those first ones than I do for the God of War Norse editions. I get why they're adapting this because I do feel like there's a little more meat to the story that you can do in a TV show. I get all of that. But
I just
yeah,
think
a lot of people fucking hate this though.
I think like a zoomed out shot and Kratos maybe like at least leaning against the tree or something would have been slightly better. It just looks
standing there with his arms
awkward.
crossed or something.
Right. It looks like it was a like last ditch effort in a way. Like they didn't actually collect the like promo material that they needed or like the promotional images. And then they were like, oh, I guess we'll just release this one. But why would this be your first image? Like you are telling me that this is what you think is going to get fans hyped? Like this is going to be the best piece of material you could possibly release?
Yeah, that I guess that's
the
what it does
problem.
come down to. And it's like,
if this was just like, oh, Night of the Seven Kingdoms going from episode 5 to episode 6 and they released 4 different character shots or something, that'd be different. But in this case, this is the first image you share?
like if this screenshot, you know, this one frame of the camera appears in the God of War series, I don't think we would think too much of it if it's surrounded by a bunch of other shit. But yeah, when this is your first and only opportunity to give a first impression, it feels
Right.
like they could have done something better.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just so early in production and like they're still filming it. But again, I think that it would be so much better for them to save a first image or a first look for something significantly better. Like you only have the one opportunity to make a first impression. So you have to make it last. Unfortunately, now they've made it last, but for a bad or negative reason. And he says, oh, after the official first look was released, don't believe everything you see on the internet. What the fuck does that even mean? Did he not like do 2 seconds of research to actually see if this was posted? Like clearly though, he would know that this is the official first look because he's the motherfucker who is in it. Like clearly he would know. He looks like he's taking a shit.
To put in perspective, Ryan Hurst, who is Kratos in the series, who's been cast,
Yeah.
he posted on Instagram, don't believe everything you read on the internet, kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means this is not a real shot. Does that mean this is like AI generated
Right,
and
is
they're
he
trolling
calling
everybody
them out
right
for
now?
AI?
I don't really get it.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a good look either way. If they really felt that this was the strongest first look to give, Maybe he genuinely didn't know that they released this image and he just sort of assumed that it was fake. Maybe he thinks he's funny. Maybe he thinks he's stirring up like controversy on social media and it will get more people talking about it. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact that right now God of War's in a very bad state because we just got God of War Sons of Sparta released about 3 weeks ago now, maybe. And that didn't go very well. $30 2D game, had things like co-op locked behind a first playthrough completion. People were not upset with the price versus the level of quality. That was bad. Now you have the look. Ryan Hurst, maybe he thinks it's AI or something. I don't fucking know. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, but at least what Amazon felt was a proper first look at him hasn't gone over very well. And now we are hearing reports coming from several leakers that the next God of War game is going to be a spin-off, and the spin-off is going to focus on Kratos' wife. And that has caused a lot of backlash.
If this rumor turns out to be true, and everyone's already saying, "Oh, everyone's melting down. Is it really that big a deal?" It's like
it is a big deal. Yes, I'm not here to play Goddess of War or play God of Wife. I'm here to play God of War. Is she God of War? No, that's Kratos.
We're not here to play Goddess of War.
Right.
It's called God of War, and with all the stuff we've seen happen in the gaming industry. And look, there was some criticism for God of War Ragnarok with the race swapping,
Angrboda race swap,
Angrboda, and all that stuff. Boy, there's going to be a massive amount of backlash if this turns out to be true.
Yes, and when there are leaks or rumors put online, right, generally there's a few different accounts that will jump at the opportunity to post it. Sometimes these come from notable leakers. So we don't know in actuality how many people knew of this or how many people actually have this inside information. But we do know at least one legitimate leaker. There are 3 in total right now that are posting about it saying it's true, but at least this first one, Nate the Hate, who had apparently confirmed that Faye would be the next lead character. She will be the protagonist. Not only are they going away from Kratos and they're going in the direction of Faye, his wife, but the gameplay is also going to be different. So that's a problem. The gameplay is said to differ from the Norse God of War games with more of a focus on action, which, by the way, the God of War games are action. What the fuck are you even talking about? It's not like we're going from a farming simulator to an action game, so that's weird. And then it was planned to be revealed this year with a release window for the first half of 2027, barring any delay. And the overwhelming majority of people's responses have been, who asked for this? Who wanted this? Aw, shit, here we go again. God of Laundry. I think this is great. It is. And then you have fucking Atreus and fucking Kratos in the background, just looking like stick figure men. Oh shit. Yeah, can somebody tell Sony we're tired of girl boss games? I get that there are people who are willing to give something like this a shot, and I understand why. I love God of War a lot as well, and there are times where I'm willing to give companies a little bit more wiggle room, but the issue is that Sony Santa Monica doesn't understand God of War anymore. They have actively gone away from what made God of War special in the first place. Then you pair that with the fact that they're willing to do race swaps and gender swaps in order to push an ideology, on top of the fact that really this is just Sony, and Sony is a company that's creating titles like Fair Games and Concord and Ghost of Yotei and Horizon Hunter's Gathering. I can never remember the name of that fucking game. I swear to God, every single time I stutter over it. But we're talking about problem after problem after problem here.
Yeah, and I mean, look, even for the show, it got so bad that your boyfriend, David Jaffy, Even
The
he
one time we
criticized it.
actually fucking agree. David Jaffy is only shitting on new God of War because he isn't making
not
a
part of
fat
it.
fucking paycheck from it. If
Yeah.
this motherfucker was on Sons of Sparta as a creative lead, or they asked his opinion, or if he was actually getting the Amazon paycheck, or
He'd
he
be
was
showing the
behind this
fuck
fake game,
out
he'd
of
be
it.
like, I love this game. Give it to me in a fucking enema. This is amazing. You know, he would be all over that shit. And that is the problem with David Jaffe, is he is so desperate to be back in the industry because he's not. He was kicked out like a decade ago, and then he tried to create his own gaming studio. He made one game that completely flopped, and now he's a failed, struggling YouTuber.
I didn't
That's it.
mean to bring up bad memories.
This
From
fucking guy,
your
he's so
boyfriend, David Jaffy.
stupid. Oh
Uh,
yeah, because I'm only popular because of my hair, my face, and my gender.
According
That's
to
it,
David
alright.
Jaffe, yes. But yeah, even he, I saw right before we went live, I think a Variety article came out.
Yeah, like
from-
Variety discussing films. They're all like, the God of War creator is
Yes.
trashing the new thing. It's because he's not getting a paycheck from it. Otherwise, he would be loving it. And if Sony would give him the opportunity to have any say in God of War, he would also be happy about it. And sure, he is getting paychecks to a certain extent because he is the God of War creator or a co-creator, but we're not talking about the level as if he was a producer and a writer and he actually was doing like consultation. And so it's very different. I get why he doesn't like it. It's different from what he wanted, but he's also the guy that was perfectly fine with them like censoring God of War and making Kratos feminine or more effeminate because, well, we need to get with the times.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
But if this, and this is just a leak, a report,
Right. Take it with a
rumor,
grain of
it's not
salt.
verified,
We don't know.
if this is true, it'll be a massive fucking disaster for them. It would have been
Absolutely.
controversial if Atreus had been the main character,
Right.
right? Like not just playable, right, but the main guy. If you had done like a fucking Loki, if the whole thing had been a Loki thing with him,
Right.
that would have been controversial. This, oof.
Right. And we don't even know if this would be like during a time in their relationship. Like, would this be before? Either way, I can't possibly imagine what would be interesting about a game like this. It doesn't have a clear direction or like an identity. It's not like, oh, she's a goddess herself and she does this and she does that and she's amazing and this is why Kratos fell in love with her. We don't have anything like that. So this is also another problem. They don't have any source material. So they could go off the fucking handle with something like this. But yeah, it's not called Goddess of War or They Thems of War. It's called God of War. And so I expect the God of War to be the protagonist. And apparently that is not going to be the case anymore. It is still a long ways away. Apparently, it's supposed to release sometime in 2027. If this is true, again, take it with a grain of salt. If they hit their timeline, if they do not change it, I don't necessarily think that Sony Santa Monica would, though, because they definitely like double, triple, and quadruple down on their opinions and, you know, their stances on things. But yeah, either way, bad idea, in my opinion. Honestly, I just think God of War's in a really bad place right now, though, between the new game, which is trash, the show, and this.
Not great.
No. Flag Ninja, thank you for the 9/11. Too soon? Yes.
Not the best week for it, yeah.
No. Next week, things will resume.
Let's fucking hope that by next week things have settled down a little bit, but it doesn't look good.
No. Doom Guy, thank you for the 2. Why does Kratos look like Danny McBride? Kratos...
Or Danny McBride's writing the G.I. Joe movie.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It's weird.
I didn't even know. Yeah, it's strange. But I honestly like maybe this actor will do a good job. I know a lot of people like him as an actor, but like we were talking about before, You can only do so much with if it is a bad script, it is Amazon, so that's a major red flag, but I also just don't think that he looks quite the part. Mikey Gusler, thank you for the 2. Did you see the SNL Tourette's video? I did not.
I did. I think that I have a much bigger problem with the joke that was told at the NAACP Image Awards than SNL doing a skit and being like a bunch of celebrities who have like said things to get them canceled over recent years being like, actually, I found out I just actually have Tourette's. I think that that's fairly lighthearted and not like too much malice intended, just fucking making jokes, just like
there's definitely a line that could be crossed, but
yeah, I didn't find that one all that crazy. When you have at the NAACP Image Awards in a room full of 98% black people, the dude doing a prayer and being like, and Lord, if there's any white men with Tourette's in the building, make sure they read the room because it will not go how they thinketh. Implying that all the black people are going to beat the shit out of a disabled man with Tourette's. I think that's a little bit bad.
Yeah, that's not it's not good, but
I didn't have a huge issue with the SNL thing, although the National Tourette's Foundation had a big problem with it.
I'll have to watch it. But guys, we are just about at the end of Fuck My Life for the week. Ryan, what have you been up to? What are you going to be up to? What's going on with you?
I don't know. I've been doing not a whole lot of nothing, just videos, live streams. I live stream on Sundays and Wednesdays in the evenings. And also on Mondays, we alternate between this channel and mine for Fuck My Life. So next week, the 29th episode of Fuck My Life will be on my channel at 9 p.m. on Monday, whenever the fuck we do that shit.
Yeah, it is Monday.
Other than that, you can catch me on Geeks and Gamers and Friday Night Tights and Sports Wars.
True and real. All of his links are in the description, guys, and they're being put into chat as well. And of course, this is my main channel. You can go and subscribe to my second channel, Varadark Reviews. We're at 5.25k, and the main channel is almost at 200k, which is very exciting. Of course, we're playing Requiem right now. We'll be finishing that game up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be doing my live stream. Then the Barrera and Virtue show on Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern. Video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. And Fuck My Life will be on Ryan's channel next week. So make sure to stop by and see how depressed and angry we are at the world. And you can hear on a scale of 1 to 10 how much we want to jump off of cliffs. Because that's just, that's the brand of the show.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's tough to be in the FML mood today. It's tough to complain about our lives this week when so much bad shit is going on around the world.
And by next week, you'll have played Reloaded, so you'll also be rejuvenated in that sense. You'll actually be like, maybe the problem with the world actually is affecting me now, and now I hate my life even more.
Could be. That could be it.
Yeah. But all right, guys, make sure to leave a like on the way out. Thank you so much for being here this week. Thank you for all of your donations, your support, for hanging out, for stopping, and for being here. More Requiem tomorrow evening, and have a fantastic rest of your evening, everyone.